So I tell people when they join 30 days that you've been watching me for a while. This is going to be a very different experience.
It's been an amazing, transformative journey since I took that, 30-day to transformation course.
If we are following a divine path, then following that path should also bring some kind of ease into our life.
It has been like the most beneficial risk that I have taken in my life, and it has been an amazingly transformation journey.
Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. This is Iram Saeed, and today I'm very excited because I am announcing the launch of our new product called Jamali Freedom. As you guys probably already know by now, if not, you're going to see the announcements on my platforms that the Iram Saeed brand has been converted to another brand, which is now called Jamali.love, Jamali.love. And why have I renamed it? Because I shared this in a previous talk that a few months ago, I had the great opportunity of speaking in front of the members of Transformational Leadership Council, which consists of transformational coaches from around the world, the top ones. It was founded by Jack Canfield. So pretty much all the members in this organization are either New York Times bestselling authors, or they have been doing this work for 30, 40, 50 years, have written many books, and they work towards helping humanity to grow. And I had the great opportunity to speak in front of them. And when they asked me, Iram, you are also a transformational coach, so we understand you, we get you, you are a lot like us, but you're a Muslim and you're passionate about Islam. And here in the West, when we hear the word Islam or when we hear the word Muslim, some of us get fear, some of us feel resentment, and some of us just feel hatred. And yet here you are, and you talk about loving Allah, loving Islam. Show us the beautiful side of Islam. Show us why you call Allah your best friend. And at that time, I wasn't prepared for this question, but Alhamdulillah, the thought that came into my head immediately, Allah put it there, was to when we're going to talk about the beauty of Islam, then of course you cannot not mention Hazur Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the most beautiful of akhlaq, the most beautiful of character. So I started talking about Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that if you want to see the practical aspects of Islam and the beauty of the message of Islam, then you must look at the character of the Prophet of Islam and how he because these people understood transformation, right? They were all transformational coaches. And I said, if you want to see an example of transformation that basically changed the world in a very short period of time, 20 odd years, then you have to study the character of, excuse me, the character and teachings of Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him. And then I talked about his beautiful character, and I talked about the Jamal of Allah, and that Nabi Kareem Sallallahu represented all of the Jamali aspects. Now, at that time, I didn't know that Jamali in Arabic means my beauty. I was translating it in Urdu because Jamali in Urdu means something that is beautiful. And not only were those people really impressed, they wanted to learn more. They invited me to join TLC as a member. It is a very, very exclusive group. You have to be vetted for a long time before they consider inviting you to speak, and then their board discusses you, and then they finally make the invitation when the board agrees. So Alhamdulillah, I was invited to join TLC last month. I'm the first Muslim to join this really prestigious organization. And in those months, I also decided that my brand needs to be changed to Jamali, Jamali.love, or the website address is Jamali.love. Because what I teach it is a combination of mind sciences that I have learned in the West. I have spent 15 years learning from the top coaches here in the West, and you can call these principles of consciousness. And I combine them with my understanding of Islam, with my understanding of Uswa Hasna, and how they all correlate and how they can help a person live a much, much better life, whether they're a Muslim or non-Muslim. It doesn't matter because these principles apply to everyone. So I am very excited to be talking about Jamali Freedom today, which is the core foundational product that is now going to be offered through this brand. And with me are, I'm super excited, joining me, two of my beloved students. They are Eagle Tribe members, which used to be Eagle Tribe, now is part of Jamali Freedom. The concept being that there are Muslim women who know that they are different. They are born to be leaders. They want to have an impact in the world. They don't want to just live a mediocre life. They want to live life to the fullest. They want to, every single person, every human being is born with a very special blueprint. And these are the women who recognize this and they want to be able to reach their full potential. So I call them eagles. And so two of my eagles are here. You may have heard from them before. One is Roma Awan, and she's in New York. She works in law enforcement in New York, and she's a scientist. And the second person joining us, another Eagle Tribe member, is Sundhila, who is a programmer, right? You're a programmer. Very, very smart. Both of these girls, very intelligent. And as you can see, they're both different in their appearance. And so we're going to talk to them and we're going to find out how being a part of 30 days and being a member of Eagle Tribe has helped them, so that if you may be somebody who's considering this, then you can get an idea of what it's like to be a part of this community. So welcome, Roma. Welcome, Sundhila. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, Iram, and thank you so much for that lovely introduction.
My pleasure.
Walaikum assalam.
So, okay, let's begin with how you guys first found me. Do you want to go first, Roma? How did you find me and then you decided to join one of my programs?
So, Iram, I started watching you for it's been years now that I've been watching you. I was watching your videos on YouTube and on Facebook, and that's how I found you. And then I took 30 days to transformation course. That was, the beginning of, I would say, my self-transformation journey. That's when I started, questioning my beliefs and my mindset and the way I think. So that was, alhamdulillah, it's been an amazing, transformative journey since I took that, 30-day to transformation course with you. So yeah.
Awesome. And Sundhila, you also joined 30 days first, right?
Oh, yes. My journey with you started when I joined your 30 days course. And how did I find you is that I was also watching some of your videos over the YouTube. And at that time, I entirely didn't get the idea of the emotional intelligence. I was looking into it as per my professional requirement. I wanted to have this as an requirement inside my profile. So I already had one of the you can say conferences attended in Lahore, but it was not as practical as I wanted to get into it. So then suddenly I was watching some video, then in your ad, your 30 days transformation course come up. And I was thinking, okay, should I go for it or not? I'm gonna take a risk. And then I decided to take a risk. And it has been like the most beneficial risk that I have taken in my life. And it has been an amazingly transformation journey. I mean, when I started with you, I started with a very negative mindset, but it has been converted and it has been so progressive that I'm glad that I took that risk and I'm here now.
Thank you. So I want to go a little bit deeper into this. So both of you, truth time, in my coaching on all of the stuff we do, I welcome truth, right? It's about authenticity and speaking the truth, which probably in the beginning you weren't so comfortable, especially when you have to tell the truth to my face. But so Roma, you had been watching my videos for a while, and Sundhila, you as well. Now, how about, what's the truth? Did you immediately like me, or were you like, what the heck? I don't know if I can trust her. So what were your thoughts when you first were just watching the videos before the course?
When I first started watching you, I think it was your authenticity and your connection with Allah that attracted me. And then also, like, growing up in a society that oppresses women in so many different ways. When I saw you on screen and I saw you as this, like, successful business person, and she's Pakistani and she's Muslim and she's a woman, that was very inspiring. And it was also your message about, like, empowerment and leadership and just having, a strong connection with Allah, that Allah loves you and that his love for you is unconditional. That for me was, something that was really, like, life-changing, and that also something that attracted me to you.
Well, thank you. And you, Sundhila, because come on, let's be honest. You are someone who takes niqab, and here am I without any hijab. You must have had some kind of judgment, right? Can I trust this woman or not?
Initially, when I think the first video I saw of you was related to like curing loneliness. The video that
What?
you did on curing loneliness.
Curing loneliness, okay?
Yeah, I'm kind of like an introvert person, so that's kind of like a fun fact that we have. So that was the first video that I watched, and at that time I was critical about, okay, what she's saying is actually gonna work or not. Is it going to cure my loneliness or not? However, that's not like the turning point for me. Point was that when there was one of your videos where you were talking about tawakkal over Allah. So the thing that was interesting to me was your attire and then the discussion that you were having. It was kind of very unique combination. I mean, I can find the people having hijab, dadi, and everything, but you talking about Allah in a very practical way. That was really interesting and kind of like, for me, it's kind of like that was critical for me that I don't know at that point, but then I started followed you, and after 30 days, I'm convinced.
Okay. So then both of you first joined 30 days. And, there's a difference when I make these videos. They're very kind of general overview, right? My videos, I cannot go as deep into the thinking and changing the mindset as I do in 30 days. So I tell people when they join 30 days that you've been watching me for a while. This is going to be a very different experience. This is where we're going to go really deep, and we're going to question a lot of the beliefs you have so that you can actually learn the truth about what is tawakkul, what is tawheed, what is taqwa, what is the shakkar. And whatever you guys know thus far, I guarantee you it's going to change. And inshallah, you will have a much better relationship with Allah at the end of 30 days. So 30 days was a different experience for you guys, right? I know in the beginning, the first 2 weeks can be tough because it really shakes you up. It makes you question so many things, right? Who wants to go first?
So, the 30-day transformation course, I know for me it was a while back, and I feel like I've come such a long way since then. Especially, like after joining Eagle Tribe, because when you join Eagle Tribe, it gets even deeper. So for 30 days to transformation, like I said before, it was like the beginning of my self-transformation journey. That's when I really needed to sit down and question my thinking. I was questioning my thinking. I was questioning, what the society has told me versus what I'm learning from 30 days to transformation course. And it was, it was just so many different things. And I did learn about the 4 T's that you talk about, the shakur, tawakkul, and
Taqwa, Tawheed.
and Tawheed, in that, 30 days to transformation, and just learning to practice gratitude on a daily basis and connecting with Allah. So that was, that's what I focused on when I was, doing this 30 days to
If I may interject here, Roma, thank you. I just want to explain that what I learned in my life also was that these concepts, first of all, there is, we all get conditioned and we take on these beliefs, our programming, which is actually the real cause why we are unhappy, stressed out, anxiety ridden. It's not because of the events that are happening in a person's life, it's what's happening here. So, just like anything else, there is a very practical way of fixing this. When you fix your thinking, when you think about your thinking and then you fix it, you can change your life. You can master your life when you master your thinking. So, one of the things that I have always found very tragic is that there are these beautiful concepts like tawakkul, tawheed, taqwa, tashakkur. They will eradicate misery from a person's life. Religion is not just for, akhirat and what happens after death. I don't go into that because we all know that as Muslims. But if we are following a divine path, then following that path should also bring some kind of ease into our lives. I'm not saying difficulties won't happen, they are part of life, but you should be able to go through those challenges and difficulties with somewhat of an ease, and you should not have this constant fear, anxiety, lack of confidence, and so it is sad for me that we have these tools, but we have never been taught the concept in depth. And I'm sorry to say, a lot of these people that teach Islam actually don't understand the concept that well themselves. How to practically implement taqwa, tawheed, tawakkul, and how that eradicates misery from your life. And non-Muslims have taken these courses from me as well and have had just as much of a benefit, because if it is divine, if it is from the divine, it should work for everybody. And it does. So I'm happy that you mentioned that, because that's one of the core things I teach in the course, by first changing your belief system and where it is messed up, where is the disconnect. So for you, Sundhila, what was it for you in 30 days?
For me, there were like 3 to 4 things that really shook me. The first, as Roma mentioned, was the concept of gratitude. Here, we have been taught only to do it through verbal. I mean, we do verbal communication. Okay, Allah, I'm grateful to you. But we don't reflect that in our daily lives. So at the same time, the way you taught us how to feel actually tashakkar in life, and it really changes your state of mind instantly. That was like a big thing for me, learning to, I mean, be grateful towards Allah on the daily basis. That was the amazing thing that I have learned. Apart from these one, the really things that was transformational for me was looking into ourselves in a very different perspective. Most of the time, we have learned that we are basically projecting to others. When I like joined your course, I was triggering a lot, and I was
You were
blaming
getting
others that
triggered a
you are
lot.
doing this too.
You were getting
Yeah,
triggered
a
a
lot.
lot, right?
So
Yeah.
even the minor and the small things during my professional life, it were also like they were triggering me. And I was like, putting the blame on others that you are doing this to me and you are doing this to me. During your course, I learned that this is not something that others do to us. We do it to ourselves by, keeping the negative loop in our mind, and then, saying all of the negative things in the world to us. So that was like a really mind opening for me. And from there, I actually learned what critical thinking is. It's basically to exist with other perspective in your life. And that has been really opening for me. And gradually, I have also like learned about Tawheed and Tawakkul, how we can introduce this in our daily lives instead of like, do a ritual maybe on the weekend or maybe on the monthly basis. is something that we can integrate in our daily life, in our daily decisions. And you can, you can feel the love of Allah during your practical life. I mean, these things have been really mind opening and perspective shift for me during the 30 days course.
And you mentioned that one of the things you learned was that the reason why you're getting triggered is not because of what other people are doing to you, it's because what you are doing to yourself right here. And you mentioned previously that learning that also taught you how to have more empathy for other people, right? And then when you have empathy for other people, what that does is that your relationships are suddenly going to improve. Not only are people going to be more comfortable around you because you are no longer that judgmental person who only feels good about themselves when they judge others to be less than them. You are no longer that person. You are more of a thoughtful person. You don't react to things immediately. You actually sit back and you think about it, and then you come to a conclusion that is far more balanced. And then when you take action, it is not going to ruin your relationships. It actually improves your relationships. And another thing that happens with that is when you are constantly believing that you are at the mercy of other people mistreat you, they do this, they do that. When you believe that, you have no power in that situation. You are helpless because other people can do whatever to you, and you're just a victim. But when you actually understand that that's not true, now you have power. You can choose to react or you can choose to respond, right? So that takes the helplessness and the hopelessness away, and you feel confident about your life.
Yeah,
So,
basically, you take back the control of your life.
yeah. If there is one thing that I could teach Muslim women, honestly, oh, we lost Sundhila. She'll come back. If there is one thing that I can teach Muslim women, it really, if I could teach this one thing to everybody, that would be you're not a victim. Get out of the victim mindset. It is so damaging. So, all right, so moving on. When you joined the 30 days, it was not cheap, right? It is probably one of the most or more expensive courses that is out there. Okay, we have Sundhila back. Sundhila, you're muted. So that's why Sundhila also said it was a risk, because who knows if she's going to get the results or not. But you joined anyway. And not only did you join that course, then you both ended up joining the Eagle Tribe, which was even more expensive. So let's talk about that. And then I'll mention why I have decided to join these two courses together. So your experience in the Eagle Tribe, why did you feel even after you had taken 30 days? And 30 days basically gives you empowerment, right? Now you know where your thinking is not in alignment with you being, confident in your life. So where do you need to make the adjustments? But it gives you the tools. Now you know what you need to do, right? But then you joined the Eagle Tribe. Why did you do that? And why has it been beneficial to you?
So, when I did, the 30 days to transformation, it really opened my eyes to a whole lot of things. And obviously, like it was pricey. And then also like when I joined the Eagle Tribe, I did, sit down and think about it. But I feel like when it comes to, um, getting rooted in your true, like being, I don't think so you can put any price on it. It's that valuable thing in your life that I feel like you cannot put a price on it. And to me, it was like, I want to work on myself. I want to work on my mindset. And I feel like once you understand, which I did from 30 days to transformation, that having this, like flexibility that being able to adapt to pretty much like any challenging situation in your life, that's the key to living, a happy, purposeful, and meaningful life. So once you understand that it's your mindset that needs to be changed, that needs to be worked on, then I think after that, like, price just becomes, irrelevant at that point, and you just want to keep growing and you want to keep improving and you want to better yourself so that you can become a better person, a better Muslim, and you can also help other people around you, which actually ends up start happening automatically once you start like working on yourself. You start attracting barakah and blessings in your life.
Welcome to the Jamali Bridge, a podcast dedicated to exploring the timeless principles of truth, beauty, equality, compassion, and human rights within the Islamic tradition. Our conversations are crafted to bridge understanding, offering non-Muslims a clear lens through which to see the heart of Islam while helping Muslims reconnect with the core values of their own faith. Together, we'll journey into Islam's universal insights, revealing how they resonate with all seekers of truth and serve as a source of wisdom for navigating today's world. Join us on the Jamali Bridge, where meaningful dialogue builds understanding and fosters a shared appreciation of our collective humanity. And you, Sundhila, do you want to add something to that?
Yeah, my reasons are almost similar to Roma. I agree with her totally 100%. Once you understand that you are your primary asset, you can invest as much as you want. That's the main thing that we have learned through 30 days, because it gives you peace. It gives you what we have been looking, into our religions everywhere. So that has been integrated into this practicality of things, living the life, having the balance in your life. When you actually experience the shift and the change, then I think it's a no-brainer. You will go for your self-development.
Yeah. And you said it correctly, Sundhila, that you have to understand that you are your biggest asset. When I first started doing 30 days in Pakistan, I would sometimes give it for free to certain people because I felt bad for them. They would beg me and like, please, please, I want to do it. I don't have the money. And then I realized a couple of women that joined my course told me that they had sold jewelry to buy the course. And I sat down and I said, wow, that's the level of commitment this woman has. Is it fair for me to charge her full price, even though she's sold jewelry for it, and then give somebody else for free? It's disrespectful to the people that are actually paying. And then I realized also that it's the mindset. It's not that they could not afford it. I would give somebody for free because I felt bad for them. And then I would see their Facebook and they're going to these parties and wearing expensive clothes, but they kept saying they don't have the money, their husband doesn't allow them or whatever. And I realized, no, it's their mindset. They don't see the culture. Actually, we are conditioned as women to not believe that we are assets. We are conditioned to believe that, in order to feel secure, we must look beautiful, or we must have jewelry, we must have assets, da 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 da, and that's what's going to make you feel safe. Whereas the biggest asset you have is right here. I also talked to people. I said, I spent over $1 million on my own education. I coached with one of the best coaches in the world, Chris Atwood, a consciousness coach. And when I started, I didn't have a lot of extra money. I could have bought a house, I could have invested in something else, but I actually saved the money to invest with him, to buy the annual mentorship with him. Why did I do that? Because I understood I am my asset. If I have sanity and confidence, I can go achieve whatever I need to achieve. If I'm paying him X number of dollars, then I can make 10 times as much money because I have confidence in myself. And even if I do have a lot of money, but I'm going crazy or I have too much stress and anxiety, what good is that money, right? And we are conditioned into believing if we go into a fancy university and get a professional degree, that's an asset. Yeah, it is, but what good is it if you're not able to have a life where your mind is at peace, right? What you guys were going through. You're very accomplished, mashallah, you're very educated. But at the same time, there was something missing that, I've ticked all the boxes. My life should be great right now. I should be happy. Why am I not happy? And so I personally think that the most important coaching everybody should get is on emotional intelligence, because your degree, your career, your marriage, none of these are predictors for future success. None of them. They do not guarantee that you're going to have a happy, peaceful life. But having emotional intelligence does guarantee that. We have had many studies that show IQ is not a predictor of future success. EQ, which is emotional intelligence, is a predictor of future success. You will be more successful in your relationships. You will be more successful in your career, because that's also relationships. Companies now in the US actually have tests where they check a person's emotional intelligence to see are they going to be a good fit or not. And Islam really has the best curriculum for emotional intelligence. It's just that we are not taught that aspect of it because, frankly, most of these revered and respected scholars do not understand it themselves. So, alhamdulillah, that from my own life experiences, I had to learn it, right? I had to learn and I had to practically live it. So I am very excited that now the decision is that, so while people were doing 30 days to transformation and they would drop off after that, we would survey them, and every year their life was still improving. But what happens is that you go back into your old habits, into your old thinking patterns. You're not applying the principles on an ongoing basis, which is why we started the Eagle Tribe. That, okay, people who want to go further and really bring their life situation to me and get my answers on, okay, here, do this, here, do that. And then all these other courses that are included in the Eagle Tribe. And then eventually I decided that Eagle Tribe and 30 Days need to be combined, and that we will call Jamali Freedom, because what this does is the primary function it serves is that it gives you freedom from this toxic programming, from this toxic conditioning, and it helps you to be free, the kind of freedom that only comes from, number one, not having any chains of oppression and conditioning around you, and number two, ultimate liberation, which comes from submission to Allah Ta'ala, having that beautiful tawakkul and stuff. And what my vision is, what my goal is, I want to see women, Muslim women, become leaders, because that's what their destiny is. And while Jamali Freedom is open to non-Muslims as well, but our main purpose is to help Muslim women, because the kind of oppression Muslim women have because of the conditioning that is centuries old, that needs to be changed, that needs to be broken, so they can have a real, solid, tangible relationship with Allah Ta'ala, which helps to glide them through different challenges in life, right? So that's going to be Jamali Freedom, and very excited about it. And what I have learned over the last 5 years by doing these different courses and coaching a lot of women and men, what I have learned, because we do a lot of surveys to check, who's making most progress, that it is women, young women in their 20s and 30s that benefit the most. Couple of reasons for that. Number one, because you guys are from the generation where you already know something is off. What your parents have been telling you, something is not quite right, and you're looking for answers. So that's number one. Number two, the conditioning that you guys have is still not that old. compared to a woman in her 40s and 50s, she's gotten beaten down in life, she's had a bad marriage or something. So her negative thinking is way deeper, therefore more difficult to change. But young girls in their 20s and 30s, first of all, they do have a higher ability to do critical thinking. So they get what I'm talking about. And number two, since their conditioning is not that much, they are able to change it very quickly. And it excites me because you guys are going to go out into the world and do the things that I can't do. I'm 53 years old, I don't have the energy. I may not even have the lifespan that you guys have. Who knows what you're going to do when you actually reach your full potential and you do what Allah has meant for you to do, you actually accomplish it. Who knows what you're going to be able to accomplish? Because Muslim women in the past were leaders, they were lionesses, and they accomplished a lot because they were not held back with this patriarchal conditioning, you know. So in today's day and age, I truly believe that the Muslim Ummah can only change when women become empowered and they are connected to Islam, but the truth of Islam, right? So as you guys can see, here is Roma, who like me doesn't wear hijab, and here is Sundhila, who covers her face, and I love them both very much. And they have both benefited from my teaching because I believe it's a woman's choice. If Roma believes that she has done enough research and this is not mandatory, and Sundhila believes that she has also done research and this is what Allah wants from her. Okay, good. I will support both of you because it's your choice. I want you to think, do your research, and whatever conclusion you come to, I'm with you. It's not about judging anyone, whether they do hijab or not. And it's also not forcing what I believe on you guys, right? Obviously, I don't believe that hijab is mandatory, but I don't force it on you, Sundhila. It's, your choice. And what makes you, what is your truth? We go with that. Because one of the things that Muslim women are extremely discouraged to do is read the Quran and interpret it themselves. Because we somehow believe only scholars can do it, and scholars are mostly men. So most of us have this conditioning, which is subconscious, that we will only listen to men. Men only have the right answers, women can't. And as you guys know, I interview many Muslim scholars who are females and researchers who are females, and they bring a lot of very logical discussions to the table. And so I am excited to see a new wave of young Muslim women emerging with confidence, but also with a deep connection to their faith. Now, what used to happen, right, if there was a woman who was westernized, typically what she would talk about was anti-Islamic, right? Just secular stuff, really glorifying the Western freedoms that have been given to women. I don't believe in that. Like I said, even in front of Western people, I'm very passionate about Islam. The model Islam brought for feminism 1400 years ago was far more powerful, radical, and comprehensive and balanced. It did not create this fight, fight for turf between men and women. It's about being equal, recognizing that our roles could be different, but it's about responsibilities first, and then the beautiful emergence of rights through those responsibilities. So in Jamali Freedom and Eagle Tribe, we are not man haters. Actually, I encourage everybody to find a suitable partner and get married. And actually, there's a lot of coaching about, saving marriages and how to have a happy marriage long term and stuff like that. So it is very exciting for me I feel my role right now is to help young women like yourselves. Older women are welcome as well, but we prefer younger women because, like I said, the results are far more quick and far-reaching because of the age that you guys are in. If somebody has already gotten married and they're in a terrible marriage, I can teach them how to change their thinking and so many things, but it will only go thus far. Although we know there have been Eagle Tribe members who were in terrible marriages, and mashallah, they're living a very happy life now. That's wonderful. But it takes a little bit more commitment to these teachings. So, Roma and Sundhila, what would you? Oh, one of the things I want to announce also is that, Roma, you have decided to now go a step further. And inshallah, in the future, you will be joining me for the annual mentorship where you will be personally one-on-one mentored by me. And both Sundhila and Roma, you're going to be, I have requested you to be like coaches in this upcoming 30 days that we're going to do, which I'll mention in a bit. So this is also part of what we do, is when we're watching all of our students and who has actually learned and implemented some of these principles again and again and are willing to help others. So you guys are perfect for coaches on internship, and both of you actually desire to become coaches. You want to help other people, which always happens, by the way, when you learn all these things and you go, oh my God, I cannot believe how my own thinking was destroying my life. You naturally want to then share it with others. Like, I want to help other people too because they're in pain and I want to help them get out of pain. That is why I do what I do. So you two are going to be coaches on internship with me, and eventually, inshallah, you will become certified coaches through my brand, and you will be able to help other women as well. So I'm super excited about that. Do you have anything to say?
So I 100% agree with everything that you said. Like before I started this journey of self-transformation, I did not know what self-belief meant. I did not know what it meant to, believe in your own judgment. But since, I joined Eagle Tribe, I would say that I've started to actually trust my own judgment, my own opinions, and my own decisions.
And
right?
your confidence has gone through the roof.
So it's like, now I'm just like living my life, with so much confidence and conviction that, okay, I am intelligent enough to make my own decisions. And I think part that I needed to deprogram myself, because growing up, I always heard that women are less intelligent, that women cannot make their own decisions, that women cannot be, they cannot be independent and all that stuff.
And I want to point out here, for somebody listening or men listening, it might be like, why? Because here is a woman who is very intelligent. She's a forensic scientist, for God's sakes. But she did not have deep inside her, she did not have the confidence, and that comes from the patriarchal programming.
So I saw myself getting deprogrammed. It's a process. It didn't happen overnight. But then when you started teaching us, like little things here and there, and seeing you coach other women, that's when I was like, that's when I started putting, all these dots together. And I was like, there's something that seems off with this societal conditioning that happened. So that, and also getting in touch with my feminine side, I would say. Because I feel like growing up in the West, it just gets so confusing. You just don't know what it's like to be feminine. But then seeing you kind of like gave me that courage to celebrate it, actually. It's not something that we need to hide, or it's not something that we need to be ashamed of. So
I think that's an important point, Roma. Thank you for pointing it out, because there's so much confusion in the society right now. There's so much wrong information, because when women in the West started to fight for their rights and they wanted equality and stuff, because the prevailing notion was that men are powerful, men are in charge, and they wanted to be equal to them, they thought the way we're going to become equal is by becoming like men, more and more masculine. And women lost touch with their own femininity. And a woman's power is in her femininity. If you're grounded in your feminine energy, that's when you're going to be able to trust that energy is in flow. And that's where you are most powerful. And a man will be powerful in his masculine energy. So if we try to become like men, we are totally losing our power. And what we come across as are women who are very aggressive, who are angry all the time. And I'm teaching a class on how to connect with your divine feminine power. But, being feminine in no way means you're weak. As you guys know, I am in touch with my femininity, and I don't think anybody can call me weak. I don't think that I come across as someone who is scared or in fear. It's about, being grounded into that power that you were naturally born with. That's where you're going to have most power. So that was one of the most important things that I think happened with you as well, Roma, because you are in a profession which is typically very masculine, right? You're in law enforcement, you're a forensic scientist. And so you had all these, kind of covers around you. And when I helped you to um, just get in touch with that beautiful feminine energy, I remember you had tears in your eyes, and it was like, and you were telling me, Idam, you need to speak about this more, because so many girls are under the wrong impression that they need to, be harsh or this, and never say yes to getting support from a man. And, I said, being independent does not mean you say no to support. I am fiercely independent, but I get support from a lot of people. So we have this wrong impression that if you want to be an independent woman, you are never going to get help or support from a man. No, there are lots of wonderful, good men who want to support women. And it's foolish to say no to that, right? But that's what you'll hear from a lot of these Western feminists, that no, I'm totally independent. You can be independent and still have a guy change your tire. It's perfectly okay. you know? Sundhila.
Yeah, I would agree with all of that, what you just said. Um, I mean, the most important thing we need to learn as a woman is to accept ourselves. If you
Mhm.
have empathy or nurturing nature in you, it's just like that, that's who you are. That's you need to accept yourself. That has been like a liberating thing. I mean, we have been never taught to nurture ourselves. So
Mm.
that's the one thing that really gives you your power back as a woman. When you try to nurture yourself, you automatically becomes nurturing for others. So
Yes.
that concept that I'm gonna be honest with you, when I was joining the Eagle tribe at that moment, I had the same impression that a woman has to be, somehow aggressive to be more strengthening and powerful. But later on, when I joined and worked with you, then I mean, I have like challenged my belief and it has been transformating. No, I don't need to reject myself. I just need to accept myself.
Mm.
Instead of translating my empathy, love, consideration into a weakness, I can use it as a strength. And that
Yes.
and the most important thing that it also works in your professional career. You don't
Mm.
need to become men to work with them or to be equal as of them because we are equal. We just need to accept and be the same, similar with others. I would 100% agree with you.
So true, because when a woman is connected to her feminine power, she will have more empathy. She will be more nurturing. That's just how Allah made us. And somehow the message has been that in order to be a strong woman, you need to deny all of that. And that means you're denying a very important part of yourself. So how can you be strong when you're not even accepting yourself? So yeah. So Alhamdulillah, that's also another really good transformative result that we get, that women who are angry and they are so full of resentment and they have anxiety all the time, it's because they are not connected to their feminine power. And when they do become connected, it transforms so quickly. It's shocking, right? That, wow, that's all I needed to do was to connect to my feminine power, and I won't be resentful and I won't have all this anger anymore. So, Alhamdulillah, that's also really powerful. And so, what we're going to be doing is, as I shared with you guys, that Eagle Tribe is now going to be changed to Jamali Freedom, which basically means there will be a 30 days to transformation live, which is where people get a lot of support from me and my company. They'll get support from you guys. There's a lot of accountability as we do the course. It's very intensive and intense. I had decided I was not going to do 30 days live anymore. People could just buy the recordings. But what I've decided is with Jamali Freedom, it will happen live once a year in January. So it's like new year, new you. So you'll start in January with the live 30 days. And then for the rest of the year, you will be in the Eagle Tribe implementing everything you have learned, bringing your questions to me, getting answers and all that stuff. So everybody will get a chance to attend 30 days live, even if they, let's say, start in June, because they will have a year, they'll get to experience the live in January. So best thing is, of course, to join this January where we're launching it. So January 2025, it's going to be live if you join Jamali Freedom. Or if you join later, then you can do it later. So, okay, we are at the end of our time. Is there anything you guys would like to add? Somebody who's maybe thinking about it, not convinced yet, thinking about how you were, Roma, when you were still thinking about it and you had doubts, probably because of the price, or you, Sundhila, when you were thinking about it, like, should I take this risk or not? What would you say, Roma, to somebody who's thinking like that?
And I would just tell them to take it because, like I said, there's no price that you can put on it when it comes to deprogramming, self-transformation, and getting closer to Allah. Because I've noticed that my perception about Allah was also kind of like faulty. So I needed to work on that too. And then I noticed that, I felt so much, like this divine love and light and mercy in my heart. After I joined Eagle Tribe. So it's been really a beautiful journey. And like I said, it's once in a lifetime kind of thing. Join it.
Thank you. And you, Sundhila?
I would say just imagine yourself if you want to stuck in your current condition, then don't buy it. If you want some change in your life, then go ahead. And at the same time, just be aware of that it's a journey and it's an ongoing journey and process, and you have to go through it to experience it. It will change your life, your beliefs, and everything.
Beautiful. Thank you. And that actually reminds me that I want to also tell who is this not for? It's very important because we are very picky about who we allow into this program, because one of the most beautiful things that happens in the Eagle Tribe is that you find your tribe, that you are able to connect with other women like Roma and Sundhila, and you can also share your problems, ask for support, all kinds of things that you can do in this tribe. So we are very careful, and we're going to be more careful going forwards, that we only allow the right kind of women who are going to bring value to the tribe. It's okay if you are just at the beginning of your journey, but as you grow, then you will be able to bring value to the tribe. This is a tribe where you will find one of the most amazing things, that women actually support, love, and uphold each other, which is a very rare experience in our culture, because we're taught that women are your enemy, so we constantly pull their legs. In here, it's a totally different experience. So I won't, this is not for you. If you want a quick fix pill, you believe in, just getting a session and getting better. I don't do personal sessions, except for my VIP students who have taken these courses. So if you're looking for a quick fix pill, this is not for you. If you are so dogmatic that you judge others as less than you in Iman or in anything like that, then this is not for you. Unless you want to become less judgmental. I'll teach you how to become less judgmental. And if you are so fixated in your beliefs that you have no flexibility and you just think that if I join this, Iram Saeed is going to help me fix my marriage, or she's going to help me fix my relationship with so-and-so. I don't fix anybody's relationships. Please keep that in mind. I don't have the power to change your husband or to change your in-laws or to change your parents. If anybody says they have that power, they are lying. What I can help you with is change your thinking here. And then when your attitude changes, they might change. There's no guarantee. But what you will get is a more control over your life, over your thoughts, and a more sense of peace, so that you can find alternative ways how to bring more joy and more peace into your life. So thank you, Roma and Sundhila. I'm so grateful for sharing your thoughts. I can't wait to see what else happens in your lives, how you grow further as you become coaches and help other people.
Thank you so much, Iram.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
My pleasure. Allah Hafiz. If you like our content, please remember to subscribe and share this with whomever you think needs to hear this message.